Oh god, he's going ham. Look at the damage we just did. 100k right there. We're at 100k with this item level. This is insanity. What is going on, guys? Zuko back with another Dragonflight video. We'll get to the dungeon footage in a second, but I do want to say that Enhancement Shaman is back. My Shaman is back, baby. I'll talk about, I just want to talk generally about Enhancement Shaman in this video and just talk about what my plans are for the expansion in terms of what I'm going to do with my Enhancement Shaman. Of course, if you guys know, if you've been following me for a little while now, I played Enhancement Shaman like religiously in Shadowlands, and it was a big decision for me to switch to Shadow Priest for my main. But realistically, with the way that Dragonflight is structured and with the way that I like to play the game, I'm going to have alt characters in this game, and I'm going to have probably more than one. I already have a Paladin that's got some gear that I want to be healing on as my main healer. But this is going to be realistically my second like alt character, and it's going to be the one that I'm taking into dungeons and trying to get an actual good like Mythic Plus run with this guy. And of course, Shamans, guys, just got more tools than ever. They've had more tools now than they've ever even had before. Obviously, you have to pick and choose your talents, but oh my god, their class tree is so ridiculous. AoE stun, you have an AoE root if you want it, you have a wind rush totem, there's your AoE root right there, earth grab. You got a cheat death here, essentially, with Nature's Guardian. You have reincarnate, you got ghost wolf stuff, you can slow people down. I mean, you can give shields to your team. There's so many things you can do as a shaman in general, which is why I love the spec so much. But on top of that, in Season 1 of Dragonflight, their damage has been pretty exceptional. And I'll show you in the footage here as I just go over some more of the features for Shaman and talk a little bit more about what my plans are basically for this season. And I really do want to start with that. I want to say that Shadow Priest is certainly going to be my main. I'm not going to shy away from that at all. I'm going to be pushing big keys. Hopefully going to get a plus 15 done this week on my Shadow Priest. That's going to be the one that I'm pushing really hard on. But man, Enhancement Shaman is just clapping. Like, I have basically no gear. I have like 360 gear or something in this footage, I think. Maybe 355, I think, actually, at the time. This is just a Mythic 0. But it just absolutely collapsed. And with all the extra tools that they get now, being able to spec into Elemental Blast for almost every single build that you want to do, it really just makes Enhancement Shaman feel like it can do big priority damage with things like your Hot Hand plus Elemental Blast, really kicking in the teeth of bosses and big elite mobs that you want to focus fire down really, really quickly. Like, it's a huge deal to be able to do that, but it also has lots of AoE. You know, we're talking about being able to press hail, you know, the Frost Shock with Hailstorm, or you can go Fire Nova. Your Chain Lightnings are hitting really, really hard, and they're jumping to 2 additional targets now because of Crashing Storms. Crash Lightning itself is actually a good button to press. I think it's better than it's ever been and does a lot of damage in high amounts of AoE. Sundering, of course, has always been a really, really good button to press in AoE. And now we have, you know, Primordial Wave making its way in as sort of a mainstay, in my opinion, for the dungeons, because of that cleave that you get with the lightning bolt after you cast Primordial Wave. And it just gives you 10 stacks of Maelstrom weapon now, and it gives you the haste buff from Splintered Elements that it used to give you in Shadowlands. So, like, there's just so many good pieces of damage going on for the Enhancement Shaman. It's so easy to do single target and cleave and AoE. Not to mention Doomwinds is another option. Like, I was popping Doomwinds in a different dungeon. I was going like Doomwinds, Crash Lightning, Sundering, and it was just like I was suddenly doing 70,000, you know, damage per second. It was just like, just boom, immediately you're pumped right up there doing crazy, crazy amounts of damage. In this dungeon footage you're seeing here, I am running the Fire Nova build, and right here, I mean, this is a big pull. I get up, I think 50, I think I get above 50k here. I'm going to see when the second Fire Nova comes up, but here comes a big Sundering, big Primordial Wave here. Boom, watch this, boom. 68, 70k right there. Like, when you press that Primordial Wave lightning bolt, it just slaps so hard. Let me just look at it really quickly one more time. So look at this. We're at 49k, 54. I don't think I've pressed it yet, right? Nope, I haven't. Ready? We've done 1.13 million damage. Look at that, 1.64. We basically got 500,000 damage. That thing did 500,000 damage. That's what happened. My lightning bolt hit 6 people, and between those 6 targets, all the lightning bolts combined did 500,000 damage. It is insane how much damage that thing does. And of course, it gives you 10 stacks of Maelstrom Weapon, which means you can immediately throw it a Chain Lightning for a 10-stack Chain Lightning, which is going to be crazy. And then on top of that, you can follow it up with a Fire Nova. And they've really just made the quality of life so good here. So there's things like Swirling Maelstrom now, which make your Hailstorm or Ice Strike or your Fire Nova explosions give you Maelstrom weapon stack. So if you're in a big group of like 10 enemies or something and you fire off this Fire Nova, as long as you have enough Flame Shocks out there, you're going to get you're going to get a full 10 stack of Maelstrom weapon back, and then you can immediately use a spender once again. So honestly, I've just been impressed with the flexibility of Enhancement Shaman in terms of its builds. Like I said, single target AoE, cleave, it's got it all, and it's got the tool belt on the class side of the tree to boot. Whatever you need in a dungeon. Do you need Rocky? Do you need double Earth Shield? Do you need a Purge? Do you need a Cleanse? Do you need a Hex? I mean, do you want a Poison Cleansing Totem? Do you need a Knock-Up with Thunderstorm? Do you want some big healing with Healing Stream Totem and Swirling Currents and Ancestral Guidance? You can support your team that way. It's actually ridiculous, the amount of tools that are available to Enhancement Shaman that way. So I've just been super impressed. I'll just skip ahead here a little bit. There's a big AoE coming up right here. This is it right here. So as you saw at the beginning of the footage here, I played this completely wrong, and I ended up doing 100k DPS. So, for example, yeah, I just played this completely wrong. I think I summoned my dogs. I do Fire Nova really late here. I should have Fire Nova first. Right after summoning my dogs, I should have Fire Nova because I already have my Flame Shocks out. And then I could have used a Spender, and then I could have done my my Lightning Bolt that I had, the spread cleave. But like, I'll get better at this. I haven't played this in like a couple months, so I'm a little rusty. But we still did 100k. Look at this thing. We're doing 104k. It's so insane how much damage you have right now as an Enhancement Shaman. So just absolutely loving. Why isn't that? Get out of here. Just absolutely loving the feel of Enhancement Shaman right now. It's never felt better, guys. So if you're excited about the prospect of me jumping into some Enhancement Shaman videos, let me just say that there will be some coming. So here's my plan, for example, for this week right now. So the plan, as I said in my last video, is to focus on some channeling builds for Shadow Priest. So taking Void Eruption, taking Screams of the Void, taking Idol of Cthulhu, these kinds of things, right? Mind Flay Insanity. Really focusing on the channeling builds, taking them into Mythic Plus, letting you guys know how I feel about it, how it feels to run that. And then I'm also going to be running my Enhancement Shaman in some lower keys. I'm going to try and get as high of a key done as I possibly can this week, but realistically with my gear, it's kind of difficult to get into random keys right now, like really hard. So I'm going to try and get into as many keys as I possibly can and get some gear for this guy, who I think is about 360 right now, just from like the elemental storms and stuff in the outer world. But that's the plan, guys. If you're hungry for Enhancement Shaman content, it is coming. I'm going to talk about builds like the Trinity build with Hailstorm and Hot Hand and your Crash Lightning stuff. I'm going to talk about the Primordial Wave build. I'm going to talk about the Alpha Wolf build, where you go mostly about Storm Strike physical damage, and you convert that into damage with Alpha Wolf. I'm going to talk about as many Enhancement Shaman builds as I have covered in the past. So get ready for me to try all of them in Mythic Plus. It's going to be an absolute blast. So let me know what you guys think in those comments down below. I would love to hear if you're interested in Enhancement Shaman content. If you want to get back into the role of that, I will be pumping some of that out over the next week or so. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching again. I love you all, and I will see you in the next one.